There's a voice in your head, and if you listen to this voice, you will never quit drinking alcohol ever. I ain't kidding here, I mean it. If you listen to the voice in your head, you will never stop drinking. And even if you do, that voice is going to get louder and louder and louder, and it will bring you back to drinking. And this voice is there before you quit drinking, it's there after you quit drinking, and it can even be there if you relapse. And if you don't fix this, you will keep making the same mistakes forever. But today in this video, I'm going to show you exactly what that voice says and how you can combat that voice, beat it, and stay sober without wanting to drink. Listen, this isn't going to be difficult for you to do, provided that you watch this video in full. But trust me, whether you've stopped already, this is going to be helpful for you. And if you are drinking, this video is going to be even more impactful. And just before we get into things, a very quick introduction. My name is Leon Sylvester. I'm the founder of SoberClear.com, which is a coaching company that works with business owners and professionals. And we use something called first principles thinking to help our clients reframe the way that they view drinking so they no longer desire to drink. The method works fast. It works in as little as 48 hours. And if you want information on how it works, just head over to SoberClear.com. That's SoberClear.com. You can read a bit more about the process, the program, how it's different to AA, therapy, rehabs, willpower, medication, all of that stuff. My program works in a completely different way. So again, just go to SoberClear.com to learn more about how it works. You can also see results of other people that have gone through the process. But now let's get into this voice. So the way that this voice works is it keeps you stuck in a cycle of this pre-quitting phase, then it goes into this after-quitting phase, then it goes into the relapse. So let's break down the pre-quitting phase first. So when we're in that pre-quitting phase, we know that alcohol is doing damage, right? We want to change. There's a part of us that has some motivation to wanting to fix our life. And that's when the voice just pops up out of nowhere. And this is where we start to feel this sense of fear. And the voice will say, you know what? We're not ready just yet. We've got that wedding coming up. We've got that holiday coming up. Or we've got this really stressful period of work right now. We can't stop yet. Or the voice might pop up and just start being afraid of the withdrawal. Oh, you can't go through the withdrawal. It could kill you. Oh, you're going to be in bed for 3 days. You're going to be miserable to be around. Your kids, your wife, they're not going to want to be around you. You're going to upset them even more if you stop drinking. Or then the voice might pop up and just say that life's not going to be as good without drinking. What's the point of giving it up? You're going to be bored. How are you going to relax? How are you going to be fun? And I'm sure you can relate to some of these voices, these words, these things that you kind of start saying to yourself, because I've said all these things to myself as well. You can do this later, Leon. You don't need to do it now. There's going to be a better time soon. And they're like these little lies that we tell ourselves. But there's part of us that knows it's a lie, but then there's another part of us that wants to believe it. And it's like these two selves are at war with each other. But let's say you stop. Let's just say, you know what? You ignore those voices and you manage to just say, I'm doing it. I'm quitting drinking. Well, then the voice chirps back up again. And now it's got these new ideas. Well, why don't you just have one drink? One drink's never hurt anybody, right? Oh boy, we know that's wrong, but the voice comes up. The voice might come up and say, this time it's going to be different. It's not going to be the same as last time. You've had a period of, you've been not drunk for a few weeks now. You can easily go back and drink like a normal person. And that is another one of the things that comes up, is thinking that you can be a normal drinker. Maybe the voice ends up comparing you to somebody that you admire that drinks alcohol. That certainly happened to me. I had a friend, super successful, real estate investor, just crushing life, likable, charismatic, but he drank. And I used to think, well, if he does it, why can't I? I mean, why not? It's that voice. It's that voice dragging me back into drinking. Maybe the voice comes up when you're stressed and it's like, just have a drink, it'll all melt away, you'll feel better. Or maybe the voice is quiet for a long time and then you walk past a bar and you smell beer and then the voice just pops up and goes, oh, beer, wouldn't that be good? I mean, that's happened to me, right? We all have this voice. Whether we listen to it or not is another topic, but everybody gets this voice. And then one of the worst things that can happen is the voice wins, we end up drinking again, and then, after a few weeks of drinking and we've relapsed and then we're, back trying to stop and start again, that the voice can chirp up and say, well, I'll just get back on track again. Let's drink for a little while. Let's keep it under control. Let's have 2 this week. Let's have 3 the next week. Let's have 4 the next week. Hey, we've got this under wraps. This week, let's get drunk. Look how easy it is to stay on track. We can keep drinking. This is great. And then what happens is we go back to that pre-quitting phase, because we end up getting to a place where alcohol puts us in a place of pain, we want to change, and this cycle repeats. And this was the cycle I went through for 10 years. 10 years I did this. Stopping and starting, war in the mind, blah, 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 all day, every day, drink, and it sucked. But I want to tell you something. Until you're able to recognize that voice and have more empowering beliefs than the voice itself, you will never escape the cycle. See, I told you a second ago that the voice popped up for me recently, and actually it wasn't recently, it's not happened for a long time. For like 4 years, I might have it every 6 months where it would pop up. But about a year ago, I remember that my girlfriend and I, we were in Dubai, we were walking down the beach, and the area is called JBR, so we were living in this tower, and then we walked outside, and we were right at the beach, it was really cool, and we walked down the thing, and then I looked to the right, and it said Stella Artois, and that's what I used to drink. And I saw it, and I was like, and this is after not drinking for 5 years. It's now been 6 years. It was last year. And after making hundreds of videos about not drinking and helping hundreds of people stop drinking, I saw the sign and I went, oh, beer. And then I clicked out of it. But the difference is that when I thought, oh, beer, there was a moment where it seemed like a good idea. But then immediately my stronger beliefs that I hold just flooded it out. And within a second, I walked away like it was nothing. And what am I talking about? These other beliefs? Well, in my eyes, to drink alcohol would be almost committing suicide. It would destroy everything that I've built. Maybe it wouldn't happen straight away, but time and time again, when I've drank alcohol, I have destroyed my life. So I knew that if I was to, even flirt with this idea, I'm making a decision that's just going to ruin everything. And it would have all been my own fault. And I know that might not have been the nicest use of language, but effectively, it's a very similar thing. It's suicide. You're literally putting a poison in your body. And you are the person that is picking up the drink every time you do it. You're just damaging yourself, and damaging yourself. When I got that thought, that's what I think, why would I want to drink that? I mean, it sucks. And this is what I do in my program. I help people shift their beliefs to see alcohol as a highly addictive, dangerous drug that does nothing for you at all. Because once you see it that way, then the voice no longer wins. You're able to drown it out with these more empowering beliefs. Because I promise you that there is nothing to gain from drinking that drug at all. It's just the worst drug ever made. And those thoughts that you have, what you need to do is not follow them, right? You might get them. I'm not saying that you're not going to think about drinking. No way. It happens to everybody that stops drinking. It's the world that we live in. You're going to get reminded. You're going to watch a TV show, right? Your favorite character's going to drink in a movie. A friend's going to invite you to a bar. You'll sit in a restaurant. Everybody's drinking. It's going nowhere. And you will be reminded of it, and that voice will pop up. But it's just a thought. It's just a voice. You don't need to follow it. Again, like I said earlier, if you want help reshifting your beliefs so you don't want to drink anymore, then just head over to soberclear.com to learn more about the program. And if you click the video on the screen now, you can learn why everybody keeps quitting drinking.